She's co-valedictorian of her class. She's one of the most involved students in the school. She's president of Bottle Free, president of Latino Somos. She went on the Normandy trip. She did the iBook. She did LA Biomed. She is what you would call a fantastic student and community person. And because of that, she's already been accepted to the University of Notre Dame and the University of Virginia. And I'd like to think that part of the catalyst for all of her success was this Normandy trip, because it was one of her first big things out of school, and when she came back, she was just so much more full. I don't know how else to describe it. You just grow. You become an adult and a person between all the lectures you do and the relationships, and it's almost like pre-college because you're doing it with kids from all over the country. So I'll get you things started.
Hi, I'm Natalie, as he said. So I was selected for the Normandy Academy. I would like to give a big thanks to the donor, Anne Tournay. She has done so much for the school, and this opportunity for me wouldn't have been possible without her or any of you or whoever's going to get the scholarship this year. So it's an amazing opportunity that I would recommend for all of you guys to apply. So, oh, you're in the back. Cool. Okay, so yeah, you can just...
Next one?
Yeah.
What's the flower?
Oh, it was just a nice picture that we took.
Is that your hand?
No.
Is that on the Normandy battlefield or the cemetery?
It was one of the, it was near the battery that I'll talk about. Yeah. So the whole scholarship, it's done through the National World War II Museum, which is located in New Orleans. And so the whole scholarship involves a 10-day trip, 3 days to New Orleans and 7 days to France, Normandy, France. You also have to do an online course when you get the scholarship through Nicholls State University, and it's just focusing on studying Normandy and like World War II and D-Day. You also get a computer, so you can do the online class, and you get spending money for the trip. So I got like $200 to spend over there.
And that, the computer class, you're getting college credit for that?
Yes, I did get college credit as long as you pass the class, but it's not very difficult. It's as long as you do your work, you get the credit.
So
Yes.
the credits for any other college that you apply to later?
As long as they accept it. I got credit here,
Yeah.
so I got like 10 elective credits here, and then I can transfer that class over to a college.
You have to apply kind of like an AP class. You apply for the credit.
Yeah. So the online class, it wasn't super simple. I had to read 4 books within a couple weeks, and then I had to do 10 papers based on like what I read and just summarizing kind of what the books were about, and there were like prompts and questions given to us, and you had to like respond in like a good formal manner. And a big part of the class was also leadership scenarios. You can flip. So these leadership scenarios, like the doctor, which is the teacher, he gave us a prompt, and then like he assigned 3 people different roles in the scenarios. So someone would argue why, like you would go one way, and then another way, like in the scenario, like, oh, do you want to bomb this way? Do we want to attack? Yeah. And so like we would all, not in every single place that we visited, but we would go like meet up in a group, and we would discuss these roles. So everyone that took the online class had to do these, but they were really fun, and like they were really interesting because everyone had their different like opinions and different manners to look at it. So it was really cool.
And again, this isn't optional. If you accept this, you have to do this class. It's optional for the trip, but it's not optional for our scholarship.
It's worth it though. You learn a lot more about the history, and like you can appreciate what you see more, so it's worth it. So the trip consisted of going to New Orleans for 3 days. You can go. So we mostly stayed at the National World War II Museum in New Orleans. And so we spent like it was kind of like a day and a half in total. They had different buildings you can flip. But we were just exploring, and you can flip. We were exploring the different buildings. So one of the buildings I like loved had different airplanes, like the models. Some were used in World War II, others were just like recreations. We were special enough to like hold guns and go on some of the tanks. That was cool. And they had like recreations of what World War II looked like and like the invasions. Go ahead. So like here was like the bunks, and then yeah, more of the airplanes. And right here, it was like one of the main stages for World War II. I mean, the museum. And they would bring in World War II veterans, and they would like give their story and stuff. We didn't have the time to do that, but I would really like that. So yeah. So we also got to explore the French Quarter, which is like the French part of New Orleans. So we got to see like where Napoleon lived, and we saw the Mississippi River, which I thought was awesome. And yeah, we just got to walk around.
Not Napoleon, John Lafitte, maybe?
No, Napoleon. Where the Louisiana Territory, where he lived for like a couple.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Never knew that.
Yeah. We didn't go inside though, but we got to see it.
Never knew he was here.
Go ahead. So then we spent 3 days in New Orleans, and then we flew. We actually flew over to Georgia so we can go to France. So our first day, like we lost a whole day just because it was like a 7-hour flight, I think, to France from Georgia. So yeah.
You want to explain what those things are?
Okay. So that first day we just pretty much went. Well, we came out from the airport. It was like 1 o'clock, so we were running really late, to be honest. And so we just saw the Eiffel Tower. We got down for like 10 minutes, and then we got a like quick tour of Paris, just like driving through. And then we went to where we were gonna stay. Yeah. So here's the Eiffel Tower, and then that's the Arc de Triomphe over here. Cool. And then when we got to where we stayed, which was Bayeux, there was a cathedral, and so we were like all in love with it. So we went and like explored, and you can just walk inside and just look around. It was really cool. Yes.
How many students were you on the trip with?
I know 2 years ago they had like 15, but this year they expanded to like 33 students. But they're from like all over the nation. And then like it was kind of cool because this year they had another trip going on at the same time. So they kind of joined with us. So it was like a group of 40 people. Yeah, it was cool, and we were all touring together. Yeah, so we visited a lot of places. So like the first real day, we went to like this museums, and we saw like the Pegasus Bridge, which was like the first where they sent out like the first aircrafts and stuff. And we saw a chateau, which is like it's like a mansion but with a lot of land, and they just give out their like personal stories of why it's significant in World War II. And yeah. Oh, and then we went to Gold Beach and we had lunch. And so like what was cool is like some places we would get to sit down and just like talk with other people and just like appreciate what was there. So that was really cool. And like we had free time to explore. So like all these over here, that's like a battery. So it's like these tanks that were like in the ground, and yeah, we were just exploring, and we had a leadership scenario, so like we did get to learn about the history and stuff. So like places that weren't museums, we usually had a leadership scenario, so we would learn a little bit more about the history there. Yes?
Were there any French students on the trip also?
Like with us in the group?
Yeah.
No. Well, I'll talk about that in a little,
Okay.
in a way. Go ahead.
I did.
Oh, sorry. So we also got to see like Utah Beach. That was really pretty, and like we got to go in the sand, and like yeah, it was really nice. And so we visited all these places. The church over here, that guy, it's not a real guy right there. It's just there's a story behind like the guy got stuck And so he was there for like, I think 72 hours and hanging there. And so they're just like, what do we do? And so it showed like a lot of people when they were being landed, they were getting stuck and they didn't know where they were ending up. So I thought that was really cool, but kind of sad because people had to find their own way to go to their mission when bombing. Yes.
Was it the 101st Airborne?
Yes. We visited another chateau. This was cool because Hitler was here, and then they had like a whole bunch of like secret stuff going on here. And then we visited this bridge, which was like really important to. It was crucial to winning that spot. So yeah. We also visited a German cemetery. Yes, there's a German cemetery in France. And it's just kind of appreciating like that there were like German lives lost in World War II. So I thought that was a little controversial, and we had another leadership scenario, and everyone expressed their own thoughts, and so that was yeah. And then one of my favorite places that we visited was Point du Hoc over there. Pretty much the Rangers that had to go fight for D-Day, they had to climb those cliffs. And then, yeah, catch their breath for a little second, and then go and fight. So, I thought that was cool. Yes.
Why did they put a German cemetery in France?
They wanted to appreciate, like, all the lives lost. Yeah. There's still a lot of debate whether they want to keep it or not, so, but I think it's going to stay, because they already built it. Go ahead. And then we visited the ever-famous Omaha Beach. It was a bloodbath here. When it happened, like all the invasion, you couldn't see the sand. It was all blood, and so it was really sad. It was really emotional, just going there, and it was kind of crazy because there was French people just playing in the water, and I mean it's a beach to them, but to us it's a lot more. We also visited the POLAHS castle. And this was really important, like winning this part too, because like you could oversee everything, like all the land. So the POLAHS gap was like you could see that. And then we visited the Con Castle. We had lunch here, and I'll talk about dinner. Sorry, and I'll talk about that in a little. And then Memorial de Mont or Mall Museum is you can see the POLAHS gap. So seeing all of the land that they had to conquer was kind of cool. And then the Ardeen Abbey over there, it's actually a Canadian cemetery. There's not that many people there, but again, they're appreciating the lives lost in World War II. Go ahead. Oh, go ahead.
Did you get to speak to any veterans from other countries?
Yes, that's exactly the next slide. Go ahead. So here we visited the Memorial de Con, and so I think this was the last museum we visited. But we had these two World War II veterans. The lady, she just worked in the sweatshops and stuff, and she gave her story of how it was really hard and working. And he actually fought, and so he gave his story, and it was really, really cool. And these two ladies, they were actually studying abroad. They were from, I think, Louisiana State University. And so they were French majors, and so they were translators for us throughout the whole trip. So with the language barrier, it wasn't super bad because they would help us translate everything. So yeah. Go ahead. And then the last day, we visited the American Cemetery, and that was an amazing experience. It was very sad. If you see these graves, excuse me, that's like nothing. It's endless, and it keeps going on, and it's amazing. We were really fortunate to have been there, but we also gave a what's it called, a bouquet of roses from the National World War II Museum. So that was really nice. And then each student got to give a rose to a grave. So I chose that one. You can't see the name. But yeah, we spent quite a time over there, and we were just pretty much alone because everyone was like so emotional seeing all that, like Americans that sacrificed for us, like so we can be here today. And then the last day, or that day, like the 6th day, we traveled to Paris, and then we spent the night in Paris, and then we flew back home. Do you guys have any questions about the trip or anything? Yes.
What was your favorite leadership scenario?
I think I didn't participate in this one, but it was the Utah Beach one. They were trying to figure out whether they wanted to bomb vertically or perpendicular to the beach. So yeah, and it was kind of cool, and like trying to see, like, they were both good points, and yeah, I like that a lot. I don't want to spoil it. Yes.
How close do you get to the students from other schools?
Oh, so the students are from like all over the country, and you don't meet each other until you get to New Orleans. And so I was the only one from Los Angeles, and so I was completely like shocked, unaware of what was going on. But I think before we left New Orleans, I met like the best group of people, and there was 5 of us. One was from Boston, another one was from New Orleans, and then 2 were from Chicago, and we still talk to this day. Like, we're best friends. Like, it was such an amazing trip, and we spent our whole time together, and it made it so much more memorable. So, yeah. Any other questions? Yes.
How did the trip change you?
I definitely learned a lot more about history, obviously, but I appreciate like our country a lot more. I didn't mention this, but all over Normandy, which is where we were the whole time, there were American flags all over, and it was in France. And so I saw like how appreciative like the French were for all that we did during World War II. And I mean, it's been so many years later, and they still appreciate us. And it was pretty amazing because all the French people, like at least in that area, they had like put the effort to learn English and like for like the tourists, and so they really appreciate us, and it was so nice. Yes.
How does this help you in college besides the credits?
I definitely learned like the pacing of like the online class, and like how I have to, like, it's really independent and it's based on your own like time and effort. So yeah, that'll help me a lot. But just meeting new people also, and just learning with like hands-on experience was something that I'll really like, and I think I'll definitely use that in college too. Yes.
I'm sorry, but you said that you worked with the college class during the trip, or was it?
It was before. Like the trip was in June, and then so the college class, they started a little late this year, or when I took it, but it was from May until like that day. Yeah. And then the leadership scenarios are also part of your grade. So the professor, like, he grades you because he goes on the trip.
Oh,
Yeah. Anything else? Yes.
How many leadership scenarios did you participate in?
I think it was 4, but there's like 10 in total. Just, yeah, it depends on how many people take the class. So like there was one year that everyone had to do a part in every leadership scenario because there was only a couple people taking the class. But this year it grew a lot, so yeah. But we had bigger roles and stuff. So, yeah. Yes.
So when you went to France, how was the weather over there?
It was good actually. It was pretty much like here. There was one day that it sprinkled on us, like more like right when we were heading back to the hotel. But otherwise, it was really nice and calm. Yes.
And did you get to walk around the village? Or
In France.
yeah.
Yeah. In France, we so we stayed in Beirut, and like we had free time during dinner. So like usually they would let us go out and eat like with your friends. So they gave us money, and so sometimes we would instead of like sitting down and eating, we would just get something on the go, and we'd walk around the whole town and the city. So yeah, we had free time. Yes.
Did they provide like a mobile phone for you to use? Or did you
No.
have to like get your own phone?
No. Well, you can get an international plan. It's like a week and a half that you're over there, or a week, sorry. I didn't need one. I didn't find the use or like the point of it. But I mean, there's Wi-Fi in the hotel, so yeah, you're so like involved with what's going on over there. Like you don't really care about what's going on in the social media and stuff. So yeah.
It's nice to be disconnected.
Yeah. Yeah, but like it's good to have Wi-Fi just because like your parents might want to call you and stuff. So yeah.
You sent pictures, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, during the
Yeah.
trip. There's like a site, so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I would FaceTime too.
On your phone plans, if you call your phone company and just say you're traveling to France and give them the dates, they charge you, you know, whatever it is for that period of time to have the international plan. But you need to do it, otherwise, if you don't do it and you use your phone, it's a fortune. So
Yeah.
keep that in mind.
Or they won't even connect it sometimes.
Yeah.
So yeah. I saw a hand over here. Any other questions? Anything? Yes.
How was the food?
Oh my god. The food was really good. So I love trying new things. A lot of the other people didn't want to, like, they just wanted to eat what they were familiar with, and it wasn't much, you know?
Did you eat escargot?
Yes, I
Yeah,
I had snails. They were actually really good. The place that we went to prepared them really well. And we also had fried frog legs. Those were good too. Yeah, I tried a lot of different stuff. Like the pizza there is so much more different. Yeah, and they call, like, what we call French fries, they call American fries. I don't know. Yeah, or that's what someone told me. But yeah, and it was good. Yes.
How does it feel to be in a culture different from ours?
Okay, well the language barrier wasn't that bad just because like I kind of know Spanish, so I could kind of communicate, but it wasn't like perfect. But the people, we stayed in like Normandy, and so they know a lot about like Americans and stuff, so it wasn't that different. And like we were with our group the whole time, they're all Americans, they're from all over the nation, so it wasn't too bad, it wasn't very different. But I remember one time when we went to Omaha, there was some people like walking their dog, and one of my friends wanted to pet the dog, and the translator was with us, and she was like, oh no, like they don't really like touch their dogs, like it's not like we think, because they think their dog is like a person. So yeah, there was some differences, but we were just trying to be as respectful as we could. Anything else? Give a big thank you again to Antoinette. This couldn't have been possible without her. And I'm so appreciative that you're giving another scholarship for another student to have this same experience I did, and it's been amazing. So thank you.
If you do have any questions for Natalie, you can send her an email or just find her floating around school. She's in here every Tuesday for bottle free, so you can always find her here. She'll be glad to answer your questions, especially if you have any questions about the application. That's due by the 22nd. Don't forget, due. No extensions whatsoever. If it's not complete on the 22nd, you're not getting it.